Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something really fun. We are going to be doing how to eyeshadow 101, right? So I'll go over primers, brushes, what I like to use, and we're going to be featuring the Naked palette. So I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but I think last month Urban Decay announced that they would be discontinuing the Naked palette, and I think it was like 50% off. This is my first high-end eyeshadow palette purchase, so like this holds very, very dear to my heart. I bought it when I was in college. I saved up for I think 2 months because it was like $50, which is very expensive for a struggling college kid. And then I purchased it and I loved it, and clearly I didn't use it that often, but it's something that I really wanted, so I got and didn't use. Sounds like me. But yeah, so stick around if you want to find out how to do this really easy, super wearable eye look. And if you have any questions, just leave them down below and I would love to answer them for you. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to be going into the original Naked palette. So the first thing we want to do is primer eyelids. There's two ways to primer eyelids. You can either use a primer like I do, which is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, or you can also use concealer. You just want something tacky that the colors can just adhere to. I like to do, for some reason, one at a time. I like literally cannot do both at the same time. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that set in for about a minute. Drop things in the meantime. Okay, so the brushes you're gonna need for a basic eye look is going to be a fluffy shader brush. You're also gonna want a flat brush, so something like this. Or what I really recommend for people is the Sephora's dual-ended brushes. So one side is going to be tapered for blending and one side is flat for packing on eyeshadows. And this is the Sephora 205 brush. So I'm going to be using the Sephora brush for packing on, and I'm going to be using that fluffy brush to put the shadow all over. Okay guys, so to start off today, we're going to be going into the color Buck. If you're lighter toned, you can go into the color Naked, but since I am tan, Buck is going to be my transition shade. So I'm going to pick up the Buck and then tap off any excess and start blending it onto my crease. And what you want to do is you want to build that color up to your desired opacity. Surprisingly, Buck is one of my favorite colors from this palette just because it's such a pretty transition shade that if I don't have my tried and true Smashbox nude, I reach for Buck. And you just want to blend in windshield wiper motions. I also like to just kind of go in small circles as well. You really want to disperse that color. Also, if you hold it farther away from the base, you're going to have less color deposited. If you hold it closer, you're putting more force, so the color is going to be more rich. So I like to hold it pretty far away and just kind of build that color up. Like literally, this is how I hold it. Okay, so I like this as my transition shade. You can build it up more if you want or less. You can also literally put on mascara and head out the door, but I'm going to just be using at least 1 to 2 more colors. So I'm going to take that Sephora brush, the flat side, and I'm going to take the color Half Baked. Is Half Baked. And I'm going to use that shadow brush and pack it all over my lid. If you want a more intense color, you can always spray your brush before you dip in. or after. It's totally up to you. But I am going to just pack it on. Can you see that? Can you hear that? Okay, so that color is packed on. Now you can leave it at this, put on the mascara, and head out the door. I'm just going to darken out my outer V a little bit. So I'm going to be mixing Dark Horse and Creep. And just pack that on to the outer V. So for that, you can use a tapered brush, you can use a flat brush and then blend it out. It's totally up to you. You can also use a smaller tapered brush like this. You can also use a domed brush like this. Totally up to you. I am going to use the tapered one. So I'm dipping into both, then going in. And just small circular motion. So you can see that gives it some dimension. And I like to keep the color right under that transition shape because you want the depth. So you don't want to bring it up too high. So I'm going to go back in to Half Baked and just kind of blend out where those two colors meet. Okay, and then onto the other side. All right, so I'm gonna go back into that fluffy brush, take a little bit more buck, and just blend out where all three of these colors meet in the top. And then right here, you can put on mascara, you can curl your lashes, you can put on a liner, it's totally up to you. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the bottom lashes. I'm not gonna put on a liner today because I'm lazy. But it would look really pretty with a wing liner or a smudge liner, it's totally up to you. So let's just continue on and do the lower lash. So for the lower lash, I like to use a smaller brush, it's a detailed brush. You can use a domed pencil brush like this to really pack on and blend colors. Or you can use a small shadow brush like this. This is a Sephora Shader brush. Okay, so I'm gonna use the shader brush and I'm gonna go into the color Buck and put that all along the lower lash line. And I want to connect it to where the shadows are over here. And just build that up to your desired opacity. A lot of people blow out their lower lash line. Personally, I feel like it makes my eyes look even smaller just to shape in the size of my eyes. So I try to keep it not too blown out. And I don't want to darken up the lower lash line anymore, so I'm just going to go into the color Half Baked, and I'm just going to focus that on the third to a half of the inner part of your eye right here. So I actually just used that color in the inner corner of my eye as well, just because I like the way it looks. So I'm going to put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So this is the final look. Very simple, all in one palette, and it's a great throwback to an iconic palette that many people have loved. And now, Is this the best eyeshadow palette in the world? No, but it was great for the time that it came out in, so I wanted to do a good throwback for that. This is actually the only Naked palette I own because it's the only one that I liked, the color-wise, because I can do really pretty smoky eyes with it. I can keep it pretty neutral if I wanted to. I want to start using this palette more often, so I'll be doing more eye looks with this. There's some really pretty pink colors that I think I can create some really nice looks for. But this is a really nice gold color. If you put on some false lashes, you can definitely take this from day to night. You can also not deepen out the outer V as much and keep it more wearable if you want during the day. It's totally up to you what you want to do with your makeup. Have fun. That's what makeup's all about, right? Alright guys, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this basic how to do your eyeshadow look. If you want more and would like to see how to do some more basic eyeshadow looks with other palettes, just leave them down below and I would love to do those for you. Until then, I'll catch you next time. Bye.